Después, una vez que terminemos la jornada, bueno, pues nos tomaremos un café y tenéis la oportunidad de seguir conversando con ellos y hacer las preguntas que consideréis oportunas. Y bueno, vamos a seguir con la jornada y ya la han adelantado ellos dos. Claro, una vez que haces una venta, con lo importante que es conseguir que el cliente llegue a tu bodega, es más importante todavía fidelizar a ese cliente, y si desde luego conseguimos que le guste nuestro vino y que nos quiera seguir comprando, vamos a ponerle las cosas fáciles, ¿no? Entonces, esa posibilidad de que le enviemos el vino directamente y que nos siga comprando, pues es fantástico, y sobre todo si lo hacemos bien, porque está claro que pagar impuestos no nos gusta a nadie, pero como hay que hacerlo, pues es mejor pagarlos adecuadamente y no que nos pongan una multa después, que luego todavía es peor, ¿no? Y para eso, bueno, pues está aquí la empresa de Fiscalead, que bueno, ya las han presentado Nuno y Nicolás. Ellas son Marcie y Alessandra Luyot, que son las socias y consultoras de Fiscalead, que ya la han presentado. Es una empresa francesa que, como hemos comentado, se dedica precisamente a ayudaros a gestionar todo tema de fiscalidad y aduanas a nivel europeo, ¿no? Con lo cual facilita mucho. Os voy a comentar, ellas van a hacer su presentación en inglés. La ponencia está traducida al español. Si tenéis cualquier duda o cualquier problema en las preguntas, si las queréis hacer en español, pues no pasa nada, porque os las podemos traducir y que no haya ningún problema. Bueno, os voy a dejar directamente con ellas dos para que os aclaren todas las dudas que tengáis. Gracias.
Thank you. Hola. So first of all, I do apologize. I do not speak Spanish. I made the very bad choice to study German because of my parents. It's not me. So I'm really sorry for this. I love your country. We come for our holidays. I thank you for your wine. I had an absolute blast yesterday evening. So thank you very much for having us here. So I am Marcie REYNO-DALLE. I'm the co-founder and president of Fiscalead. We have founded Fiscalead for nearly 5 years ago now, together with Alexandra, my partner, that you could meet also today after the presentation. And in fact, our background, just in a few words, I actually personally studied international strategic management in Cambridge. And then I have a master's degree in finance, and I happen to work in the VAT world. And I got very interested by that, and then I've been working in the oil and gas industry in Geneva for a few years, and I discovered the world of excise duty and the complexity of how to apply a regulation to a good. And you have to know the product, you have to know the goods to apply the right taxation, and you have to know the flows. Following up that experience, we've been working at EY in Paris, the law firm, for a few years, where I was a senior manager. And we wanted, with Alexandra, to provide really turnkey solutions on excise duty matters. So that's the rationale of Fiscalead, to apply regulation in a world that is more and more regulated, but that is also about data. You need to manage your data to apply the right taxation. And that's really what is happening in the world today when you have a lot of volume or when you have reasonable volume, all from the order to the invoicing to the transport, this is all digitalized. So should be your VAT and excise management. So I will be cautious of time. I have many things to say, so please don't hesitate to interrupt me in case of questions. Maybe that's better like this. I will indeed speak in English, but we have made sure that the slides were translated into Spanish. Please do not hesitate to use also your translation tool on your phone, perhaps if required, and I'm sure we will make it work. Okay, so what about our services of Fiscalead? We have designed the trade box services, which are really dedicated to online selling of alcohol, and especially for wine, still wine, and sparkling wine. Considering the VAT and excise duty challenges that you all have to face, I am sorry to say, but you have likely observed it, EU is a free market, but perhaps your industry is the one and only not to be able to profit of this free market, because you have regulations, barriers caused especially by excise duty. As an independent wine producer, you are supposed, and EU and regulation expect you to manage excise duty rates from 27 EU member states for a variety of alcoholic beverages, where you have some tariff codes changes, you have some specific classification which can change from country to country. How could you reasonably, autonomously manage all this? This represents an important constraint for you to expand your sales and benefit from the two important opportunities, the one being the EU supposed free market and the other one being the internet development and the online selling development. So you need to get organized to make it work and to get the benefit out of it. What are your main challenges, which the one that you are going to meet? From a VAT standpoint, to start with, and we have divided that into three different main challenges. You have to determine the VAT rate, so barely easy. VAT rate to be applied is the one of the country of arrival, and to be more precise, the country of consumption. So you need to have in your system or at your disposal a table of VAT codes, and once you have an order, there is a country of delivery, and it should apply the right and correct local VAT code. So you need to know the rule and understand the rules, distinguishing B2C from B2B sales as well. This is also something that you will have to organize in your system. VAT invoicing, once you have determined the right rate, you have to automate that with VAT decision table and keep the rules and rates up to date. Most of them, when there are some changes, it changes 1st of January in most countries, EU countries. And then you have to pay this VAT to the government. So now we have the one-stop shop. I don't know, could you please perhaps raise your hand for those who have registered for one-stop shop maybe? Do you know the one-stop shop of VAT? Yeah? So if I may have a recommendation, do not hesitate to use it. It allows you from your Spanish tax platform system to declare the VAT of all the various EU member states. Obviously, if you declare as a wine selling company various VAT rates, you also show to the Spanish government that you have delivered to these various locations. So in principle, we can only recommend you to be also fully compliant from an excise duty standpoint, because you cannot be okay for VAT and not for excise duty. And hopefully our solution TradeBox will help you for that. Now the challenges that you will have to face for excise duty, barely the same categories. So you need to be able to determine the excise rate. And then this is more complicated because this is not a mono rate per country of arrival. You will have obviously several rates to manage depending on the excise classification. So if you make still and sparkling wine, this is pretty easy. If you have some more cider-like products, some spirits, maybe some beers, then it becomes a real challenge. And also excise duty rate, they change from time to time. Then once you are able to understand the rules of excise duty rates, how they apply to which category, you have to automate this excise rate table. Therefore, you need in your system as well to be able to distinguish from your product catalog which product catalog are classified under this excise class, and this is the rate applicable in France, Germany, Netherlands, etc. And then you have to pay excise duty to the government. And there is no such a thing like a one-stop shop for excise duty. So this is an additional, not only challenge, but barriers for you to really expand your sales throughout the EU. So that's where the TradeBox solution comes into the picture. So TradeBox services come from this rationale, this observation of so many challenges that you have to face, and we thought, well, if we can provide a turnkey solution for that, then we could perhaps have achieved something meaningful. Our services are dedicated for you to be able to perform your sales in various EU countries. So obviously this is quite some technology, also some regulation management. So we have a first stage of a number of 8 different EU countries open, and then the number of EU countries will be expanded over time. How does it work? Basically, you will subscribe to the TradeBox services of Fiscalead. You go onto our platform. Once you have access, you can prepare your orders. You receive an order whether from wine tourism or from your online boutique. You drop it on the platform of Fiscalead. Fiscalead double check for VAT and excise duty and put it in conformity, automatically issue a compliant invoice, dedicated, first of all, one between you and us, and one between, addressed to the B2C. In order to be able to manage VAT and excise duty for you, we have created a constellation. From a tax standpoint, we act as an intermediary. So we will act as if we were buying from you and selling to the B2C, and this allows us to be placed in the middle and manage VAT and excise duty. Which means with TradeBox services, you can forget about your VAT management via the one-stop shop. You can forget about the excise duty management and payment. We will handle it. So, indeed, sorry, it's in Spanish, so I'm a little bit lost. This is my own, I made myself into this position, so I will sort it out. So basically, you have an EU member state of departure, of course, and you have an EU member state of arrival. The delivery and the transport will be ensured by DHL with all the very good standard of service that Nicolas and Nuno presented you earlier, with all the packaging and the conditioning. Very important to specify that our intermediation, because we are fully integrated with DHL, and actually DHL has been very supportive for us to allow us to present to you this innovative service. So we are fully integrated with DHL, meaning using TradeBox services will not delay your supply chain. Very important. The data that you provide us with, we are fully integrated with DHL, so from the moment that your orders has been validated by Fiscalead, the invoice has been automatically issued, then it can be ready for you to prepare the pickup, print the label, and organize the transport. Okay, now, in terms of flow charts and how it works, you are here selling from Spain, assuming that you have only one storage location, or at least that all the products will leave Spanish warehouses. Via TradeBox platform, you will provide us with the details of your order. We will issue this invoice 1 in order to place ourselves as an intermediary. We will issue the invoice 2, the one compliant for VAT and excise duty dedicated to your private individual client. You still appear on the invoice, so we absolutely do not substitute ourselves to you. This is still your client, this is still your invoice, but we make it compliant and we ensure that the payment is made to the right authorities. Can you hear me well? Sorry. Yeah. Okay, so and so that's basically how it works. And thanks to our integration with DHL, DHL has the data, and the transportation can be made and finalized. Do you perhaps have any questions at this stage on this one? Yeah.
I would like to understand fully the process here. So if I'm the client,
yeah,
I
place an order in the winery website and e-commerce, and then the winery has to, in order for, I'm the client, right?
Yeah.
And the winery now has to contact you in order...
Yes, sorry, yeah. Sorry, go on.
Contact you
Yeah.
in order to place all this data into your system, so you know the taxes I have to pay.
Exactly.
So I have already paid my wine in advance, and then you come back to me again to pay for the taxes, or how does it work?
Yeah, that's a very good point. Indeed, when you're a client, you have placed an order online, you know your price, and this is your definitive price. So nobody is supposed to come back to you and ask you for additional money. This means that the winery, previous to that, has in its IT system already set up VAT rates, excise duty rates, so that the total cost that the private individual, the client will see online, is a real definitive one. And that's why data management and how it can appear on the website for the client, you're totally right, it's very important. And what you know from your IT system and from also your economical margin management, this has to be known upfront.
So there's like a rate I can apply as a winery, there's like a rate I can apply for tax purposes, and I can apply that in my checkout.
Yes, alors, ideally, we know that there are several CMS solutions that are available to you. So you could likely use the one of Shopify, for instance, but you may also use others. You may build also your own website from scratch. Therefore, it is not possible for a TradeBox solution to be able to plug to each one of them and to prepare all the rates for VAT and excise duty. However, on the TradeBox platform, you will have a simulation tool, a calculator, to calculate your VAT and your excise duty in advance, if you wish and if you need, so that you can know, okay, my Belgian client who came to the winery and he spent 3 beautiful days with us, and he asked me to send to him 6 boxes of my wine, I can anticipate and calculate in advance the VAT rate and the excise duty. Yeah? Yeah. Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Yeah?
Fiscalead is based in Spain, or is...
Unfortunately, no. We are based in Paris, where it's...
We send you the wine as you are in charge of...
Yeah, yeah.
We send you with VAT or with...
Exactly. Exactly. Thank you very much. Exactly. So you sell to us with Spanish VAT, and that's why I said you can forget about all the EU VAT management. All you have to handle is your local Spanish VAT. You send that to your accountant, and this is done. And we are the one dealing with all the various countries' VAT. Yeah?
The question she asked before, it is if we have the platform integrated in our website.
No, alors, the platform is not integrated to our website yet. Of course, then it could be possible depending on the tech of your website as well. So this we cannot anticipate. This is why the simulation tool is available on our platform. So you can go and check. And obviously then it depends on the volume and the number of orders. So you may either do it one by one, or you may ask us to, you send us all your catalog of products, and we can determine a rate table for VAT, for excise duty per product, depending on the country of delivery. That's, of course, quite some work, so it would be a specific assignment, so out of the standard service fee proposal, but it's totally possible, and we have some possibilities to automate that to make sure that it can be done at a reasonable price for you. Yeah? And once we would have looked at your catalog, we have the decision table, VAT and excise duty. Then the question is how to integrate this decision table to your website. And this, unfortunately, I do not have the answer, because depending on whether you use Shopify or you have your own website, this is not in our hands. But we are technically able to discuss it, at least. Yeah? Okay. So, like I said, using the Fiscalead and the trade box for your distance sales in the EU, whether online orders or wine tourism orders, we manage VAT for you, we manage excise duty, and your B2C client, you can be sure that it will be always compliant. Your customer will never be claimed some additional taxes, so it's also a reputational safeguard of your continued relationship with your customers. So now, about the platform itself. How does it work? You would go to your DHL account manager, or he would go to you, and you will confirm that you are interested for the trade box services. Then we will provide you with an online questionnaire, which is very quick and pretty simple for us to make the basics KYC. So like we will ask a trade register extract, we will ask you what type of alcoholic beverages do you intend to sell, to which country, etc. Once we receive the questionnaire, we make the KYC, and we, of course, validate you as a client, and we can continue the onboarding. You will then receive our service agreement to be signed electronically, and this is also automated. Electronic signature, then you will have an annual subscription fee invoice which will be issued. I can come to the rate later, but it's an annual subscription fee of 500 euros a year to get access to all the countries. Okay. And once this is paid, this will automatically generate your access to the platform, and then you come to that screen. Previously, DHL would have provided you with some API credentials, and you will have to put them on that screen only once for us to be able to obviously map your DHL account with your TradeBox platform use. And then you will start with an advance payment balance. This advance payment balance is required for us to pay your VAT and your excise duty. Obviously, we cannot advance the funds for VAT and excise duty, and this advance payment account is made for you to never be blocked for shipping, as long as you have a minimal account amount, always on this account. So we will recommend you to start with 150 euros advance payment. This advance payment is supposed to cover VAT and excise duty due in all the countries of TradeBox. And then you will be able to plug your first shipment. So I'm sorry, the screen is very bright. I will make sure that you could all receive the presentation by email afterwards, so you could have a better view of the screen. So sorry for this. But basically what we have here as a step one, you enter the origin ship from data of your product. So this will be your warehouse. So you can enter them only once, and then after you will just have to click on them again. Then the ship to, this will be your customer address and destination. You could also upload a database of your customers so that you can click on them each time, or you can type them in one by one. And then here you would have your order details. So your customer has ordered, let's say, 3 different type of wines. You will have 3 different lines here, 3 different commercial references. For each one of them, the number of bottles. For each one of them, the alcoholic degree. So this is also a very important data, you know it, for excise duty purposes. So the quantity, the alcoholic degree, the tariff code, yeah, that's it. Yes, sure.
Talking about integrations.
Yeah.
If, for instance, I have my WooCommerce on WordPress, which is kind of normal CMS for e-commerces, if I have fully integrated with DHL, is there any chance that I could fully integrate it with your platform as well, so in the winery you don't have to fill in the data again? Is it any kind of integration via Make or via
We are
Zapier or something?
via Zapier, yeah. We are fully dedicated to work on it. We have to be fully transparent with you. So we have checked the API developer, the API developer different documentation, of these CMS. We have issues because we know that in some of them you cannot add specific field and customized field, such as alcoholic degree, and we need it, such as liters, and we need them. So this is really our constraints, and we hope to go and meet the CMS and try to see how we can discuss about that. But so far, this is our technical and material limitation, unfortunately. Yes, but we are also working on an API for you to be able to provide us with the data automatically. So we won't have the WooCommerce or Shopify directly to us, but you could somehow take their data and communicate them to us. Okay? Another alternative would be an upload of a spreadsheet. You can download your orders from your CMS or your website. We will, of course, need to make sure that they are in a specific order of columns, but then you could upload that spreadsheet onto the platform, and this would allow you not to type in order by order. Okay? Any other questions? Alors, yes, generation of the label. So here, not only we are integrated, but we have also for your comfort, I would say, we have mirrored the DHL platform so that you can keep your habits, and you can see that this is DHL screen. So you are still on TradeBox platform. You are not. You have not clicked on a different link, but it's just a mirror of DHL. So all fields, etc. This is DHL. This will be DHL packaging and prices, etc. Collection, pickup. Yeah. Time, yes. So. At all time, you could get access to your data, what shipments you have done with us, and what are their status. Basically, in terms of cash management, you will receive the payment from your client, from the B2C, and you will reverse to us via this advance payment, excise duty amount, VAT amount, and our service fee. So regarding, because of time, sorry for this, regarding the tariffs, very transparent, and we made them as simple as possible. Once again, annual subscription, 500 euros per year to get access to TradeBox platform, currently 8 countries. Tomorrow, obviously, more. We have at least, yes, 1, 2, 3, 4 more by the end of the year. And once you get access to the platform, 500 euros a year, you get a fee per order of 4,80 euros. So 4,80 euros, irrespective of whether you ship 12 bottles, and then the cost per bottle is very non-significant, or whether you sell 6. Yeah. Countries, French, Italy, Germany, Denmark, Luxembourg, Belgium, Netherlands, and then will follow Ireland, Sweden, Czech Republic, Austria, and more will follow. Okay. So yes, thank you very much for again having us. Happy to meet and discuss afterwards. And we do remain at your disposal in case of questions. Sorry for the time.